Hello, Relational Realtors. I'm so excited. I've been looking forward to this all week. We have Joseph Daley. He is a 24-year-old rookie. Oh, let me turn that off. Go away. Cancel. Go away. Anyway, without further ado, I'm trying to shut myself up. There we go. Without further ado, I would love to introduce you to a good friend of mine. He has touched my life, as I'm sure he's touched many others. So let's all give a relational realtor welcome to Joseph Daley. Yay, yay, yay. He's coming up. There we go.
Thank you for
having me, Joseph. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing fabulous.
Fantastic.
So,
you got the bling on.
Tell me a little bit. I'm double-breasted. I got the name tag and I got the, They do that.
I love it.
Yeah, Connie does this for us when we join. We get free exit on our clothing.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me tonight.
Oh, thank you so much. I mean, you're such an inspiration. So tell us a little bit about yourself before you came to real estate.
Yeah, so before I got into real estate, I started to pursue a degree in communication studies at the University of Alabama at Birmingham, and finished a degree there, loved it. My goal was actually to be a news broadcaster. So this right here is not real. I love being on camera. I mean, I've got a ring light set up. I mean, I haven't been able to use it. I mean, it's so much fun to be back, live. Because I did this through college. So this was a lot of fun. Oh, thank you. And it's a lot of fun for me because I love, being in front of people. I love speaking engagements. I love to teach. And it's just fun. It's fun to be able to, I guess, mold and control the energy in front of the room. So anyway, so I went to school to be a broadcast news journalist, and the Lord had a different plan. So before I came to real estate, I started working for a nonprofit called First Priority of Alabama. And what we did was we equipped students on the public school campus to share the gospel. So a lot of fun working with them, and now have started a career in real estate, and I'm 2 years in.
2 years. Just had your 2-year anniversary last month, didn't you?
That's right.
So we did cover a little bit, but for new agents who are joining us, your first year, how many transactions did you have?
Oh, goodness. You know what? You asked me to get those stats, and I forgot. I want to say that I closed maybe six homes total that first year.
Between April and December. That's awesome.
Yes, from April to December.
I mean, I started in 2013, so the market was like this, going like that a little bit. So, yeah.
You had to pull it up.
I pulled it up. Yeah, I worked hard and I pulled it up.
That's right.
So you got your license April 2018. Your first year, you did about 6 transactions. Is that correct?
That's right.
And your second year, you did 3 million.
That's right.
And we competed on, I know, one listing.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
I had forgotten about that.
That's how I met you. You came up to me and told me we're competing for the same listing.
That's right.
I'm sorry.
No. You had already won it at that point, and I was so, I was so new. I thought, what does she have that I don't? And I learned a valuable lesson on that listing. And when I went in,
what was that?
Well, when I went in for that listing appointment, my goal was to earn her trust for her to work with me, But I did not earn her trust by proving that I was an expert in the market. I earned her trust by becoming a friend instead of becoming the expert. And sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. But when it comes to real estate, you've got to be the expert first, you know? And that's one thing that I learned and have been able to apply to my business now.
And I still, 6.5, almost 7 years later, I still struggle. I want to be everybody's friend. I'm a high I, which I think you probably are. What's your disc?
I am a ID, if I believe. I think that's right. I'm very interpersonal. I want to be your friend first and then tell you what to do. That's
right. That's me, you and I, like this.
That's right.
For those who aren't familiar with Keller Williams, they have a cap system.
That's right.
And Joseph has cap.
I capped my first year with Keller Williams.
He capped his first year with Keller Williams. So, oh dear. Technology is going to be the death of me, y'all.
Isn't it fun? Technology?
I got a new webcam and I can't get it to work. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about that. And that is blowing a gale, isn't it, out there? Can you hear it?
Outside of my house is doing the same thing.
Yeah, we're just down the road from each other.
That's right.
Anyway.
But we're social distancing very well.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to hug you. I'm going to come chase you down and hug you like you've never been hugged before.
When this is all over, we're going to get a big, greasy hamburger from one of our local places, the Depot. We're going.
Depot.
We're going.
Depot, absolutely. Just, I want to run down some comments, and then we'll go back, explain what CAP is.
Yeah.
Karen Williams said hello. Dorothy says, welcome, Joseph. Megan says, hey, Joseph, Daley.
Dorothy.
May. Y'all have any questions, and please invite all your realtor friends to join us, because this is going to be a fun. Hey, how can it not be fun when we have Larry
the Llama,
the listing llama?
He is absolutely great.
Yeah, and we'll just leave him up. We love Larry. Love Larry. How can you not love a happy llama? How can you not? So anyway, with capping, yeah, there's a lot of unhappy llamas.
Right.
Free the llamas. Sorry.
Hashtag it. Hashtag it. Hashtag free the llama.
Can you see there? Hashtag. You can't see it all. There we go. Whatever. Free the llamas. So anyway, most offices like Exit has it, EXP has it, Keller Williams has it, you cap. And capping, you have to make it, you've got to work hard.
That's right.
It's not something that just comes to you. Are you on the ALC, which is, I forgot what it stands for.
The Agent Leadership Council. Yeah, no, I did not take that position this year. I was offered a spot on the Agent Leadership Council this year and respectfully declined. And the reason is because I did not want to do it half-heartedly, serving on the team. So my heart, and we'll talk about more of that later on, I assume. My heart is in ministry, and it's also in business, but my heart sways more towards ministry. So I didn't want to, I just started the new role, or we're starting a new role with the church. So I didn't want to put all of my...
What church? Let everyone know.
I'm with First Baptist Church of Helena. I serve as the associate pastor there. Yeah.
Associate. Oh, I thought you were worship minister.
So I'm actually the associate pastor of worship and students. So it's wonderful.
So awesome. Lori will be joining us, hopefully, but she'll be a little late, and she's got some questions. However, I'm going to wait.
Yeah.
To let her ask those. Just talk a little bit what led you to real estate.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
What were you doing doing and what led you to real estate?
Yeah, so this is actually a really cool story. I tell this story all the time because it's just so it's such a God story of where he called me to do something crazy and I did it and he delivered. So when I was working for First Priority of Alabama, we're doing campus clubs. I was driving back from
First Priority a little bit, because I never heard of it until you told me about it.
Yeah, so First Priority is actually a nonprofit ministry, and it's international. It was born here in Birmingham, Alabama, back in the 1990s. I believe it was 91 when it was formed. And
90s rock. Go ahead.
The 90s did rock. I was a product of the 90s. They were so great. So when I got the opportunity with First Priority, they had a long-lasting reputation in the community of being around for over, I think we just celebrated our 27th anniversary. So it's a few years older than I am, but I got the pleasure.
How old are you?
I'm sorry?
How old are you?
I am 24. So I've been a realtor since I was 22, which is still like, who trusts a 22-year-old to sell their house, But no, it's an amazing ministry, because what we did was we equipped students to share the gospel on the public school campus. It's the largest mission field in the United States. So we wanted to equip students to share the gospel there. And the way we did it was through a strategy called HOPE. And the HOPE strategy was help, overcome, prepare, and engage. We wanted to help students understand questions they had about Jesus and about God and about the Bible. And then we wanted to show them how to overcome their fear of sharing the gospel by hearing others share their story. So, I got the opportunity a lot of times to go and share how I overcame the fear of sharing the gospel with a friend.
Oh.
Want to get a llama? It's heading over there. You better watch out. So anyway, so we would help them overcome their fear of sharing the gospel. And the way we did that was preparing their faith story. So we taught students, we can't create your testimony, but we can help you learn how to share it. And we did that through prepare to share your testimony and to share your story, because the number one influence on a student is another student. So we wanted to make sure students knew how to clearly communicate how God had changed their life so that they might communicate that to their friends. And then the last thing is engage, and that's engaging the gospel on the public school campus. So it was such an incredible opportunity. I loved what I did there. I believe I was there for 2 years. I worked there during college my last couple of years, and it was a great part-time position for me. And so that's what I did there. And then back to the story of how I got into real estate. I was driving back. My grandmother had been diagnosed with cancer earlier that year. And she had lung cancer, and it was really hard. We were not as close as most people were. I have one grandmother that I'm really close to, and then this grandmother, we just kind of grew apart after we moved 4 hours away. So, connecting with her and just trying to stay in touch over the years was hard, but she was diagnosed with cancer. And
Stage 4.
It was stage 4 lung cancer.
And all she needed was an annual chest X-ray.
Right. And
just FYI, lung cancer survivor, annual chest X-ray.
That's what I thought. Yours was lung as well, right?
Yeah, that's why I breathe heavy. I have a little lung.
I love it.
I'm blessed. Oh my God, I'm so blessed. Go ahead.
Well, I remember you going through that.
It's not about me.
That it was actually lung cancer. So she was going through that. I believe that was 2017. Yeah, it was when she was diagnosed. It was in early spring that year. And she was diagnosed with lung cancer. And that fall, we went down for Thanksgiving. And she was just full of life. It was wonderful. And then a month later, we went down for Christmas, and she could hardly make it from the car to inside the house without breathing really heavy. So, on my way back home from actually the former trip, Thanksgiving, the Lord just shared through the Holy Spirit and said, "You're going to quit your job." And I was like, "I'm going to do what?" I mean, I'm just driving home, talking to God, just having a conversation, asking him to heal her, whatever that looked like. So I drive home. The Lord says, you're going to quit your job. And I was like, when? And he said, not yet. I just want you to prepare your heart because I have something else for you. And I was like, okay, well, that sounds crazy. Have you lost your mind? That's my only money coming in. Well, what is this going to look like? And come March, I quit my job or began the process of quitting my job. And at the end of April, after I got my license, May 1st was my first full-time day as a real estate agent. And I cannot tell you the amount of blessings that have come from this industry because I was willing to take a leap of faith and trust God with everything that I have. I mean, I shared with you earlier, I had $10,000 in a bank account. That was it. And for 6 months, I had one closing. I had a contract within 15 days of getting my license, and it closed 30 days later. And it was wild because, not many agents close a house their first 30 or 45 days in the business. They just don't. And so for me, it was like, okay, confirmation. I've done the right thing. And at the end of those 45 days, I closed the house. I got caught up in my first transaction, like, woo, man, it's the first one. I don't have to worry anymore. I'm good. I'm making money. And I didn't do the things I needed to in order to have a sustainable business. And the company that I was with at the time, unfortunately, in our area, the office that I was in did not teach me the practical side of things. We talked a lot, and there was a lot of great training, don't get me wrong, but I didn't know the practical side of going out and earning the business every day. I had not learned the art of earning the business. I had the personality. I had the skills.
Oh, you froze. Oh, dear.
Business for it. Oh, how about now?
I can hear you, but there you go. We're good. Keep going, babe.
So I had learned the art I had not learned the art of earning the business. So when I left that company and came to the company I'm with now, it changed my life. And so I went 6 months with only one paycheck. And I was only paying myself $2,000 a month for those 6 months. And it was amazing because the Lord had put it on somebody else's heart to give me $400 a month. And they came to me and had written me a letter and said, we've been praying over you and we believe in you stepping into real estate. And we want to give you $400 a month for your first 6 months in real estate. And guess what? I did not need the money after that. So it was amazing that God put it on their heart to give me exactly what I needed during that season, because after that season, I was able to close home after home after home after home. And I don't think I've missed a single month in almost a year and a half.
Awesome.
More than that, probably. So it's been incredible to see what God has done through this industry.
I'm going to ask you some basic things. How do you, for like new agents, how do you get your business? Where do you lead gen? Do you call people? Do you call your sphere of influence? Or is your business primarily referral, or is it from sign calls? I'll shut up.
No. That's great. Those are great questions. So I would say primarily my business is from my sphere of influence. And I will be the first to tell you that I am not the best at lead gen, 9 to 11, pick up the phone, call your list, make your notes. I'm just not that guy. And for a lot of people, it works. And for me, I feel like I have a different method that works equally as good.
What is your method?
Relationships. It is the same thing. It is the same thing that those 9 to 11 calls are designed to do, is to enhance and build those relationships. But I try to do it on a more personal level of face-to-face in every opportunity that I get. So if somebody calls me and we haven't talked in a year, or we hadn't talked in a couple of months, hey, when do you want to get lunch? Let's go to lunch. Let's spend time together. I try to book. Everybody thinks I'm crazy because they're like, hey, you want to go to lunch? And I'm like, sorry, I'm booked. And then I understand that every day I'm meeting somebody for lunch. And it doesn't matter who. Sometimes it's another agent from another company just to build a relationship. to learn from one another. Sometimes it is, it's friends from college who will likely purchase a property one day. Is that noise? Oh, sorry. It sounded like a weird noise going on.
Well, you did sound like you were in a tunnel, but now you sound good.
Weird.
It's the wind. It's the wind out there.
Gotcha. So for me, I am all about turning every conversation to real estate. That is how you start strong in this business. And I wish that someone would have told me when I began my courses for getting my license that every conversation that you have, you talk about real estate. They say, how you doing? You say, the market is great. They say, what have you been up to? I've been selling houses. I've been showing houses. I've been listing houses. I've been looking at houses. You want to be the one that they think about whenever they think house, you want them to think of you. So I created that persona for me. And then one of the greatest ways that I earn business.
Y'all hear that? All you guys say is, I've been busy selling houses.
I've been busy, but I'm not too busy for you.
Branding. That's all branding.
That's right. And so I guess about 6 months into being at Keller Williams, I launched a new marketing platform, Deal with Daley. And Deal with Daley has been, I'm serious, it is the most simple, best tool of communication and best conversation starter that people use with me. I don't have to start the conversation talking about real estate. A lot of times they go, so what you been dealing with, Daley? We're like, we're going to deal with Daley. And I'm like, yes, you are going to deal with Daley. So anyway, that was one of the branding pieces that I brought in when I got to the company I'm at now. And I love that because it works. It works. People don't forget it. My website is dealwithdaily.com. I really thought about naming my group Deal with Daley, but I like the Daily group better. So, it's just... No matter what the post is about, there is a hashtag Deal with Daley.
That's awesome. Because I tried How May I Help You, and it's a little limp. How may I help you? I thought Jana May, how may I help you? And
I see. I love it.
I'll go ahead and ask the first question Lori had.
Sure.
We know you're focused on ministry, and we love your energy. Do you wake up with resolve to make people smile? And you do. Does it come naturally, or is it supernatural gift from the Spirit?
I would have to go with it is a supernatural gift, because let me tell you, there are days, and I always joke about this with people. If you imagine, I'm going to take this cut. If you imagine this being all of the love and the personality I have for the day, and I keep pouring it out all day, right? Eventually this cup is going to be empty, and somehow, some way, I am full of energy all the time. Anytime there's somebody nearby me, or anytime someone needs to, just experience love. That's what Jesus said. He said, they will know you, but they will know that you're my disciples by how you love. And I believe that it is a supernatural gift that God has given me just to love people. They are my passion. Real estate, I hate to break it to everybody in this group, real estate is not my passion. People are. And because people are my passion, real estate has become my profit.
Hear that. I mean, that means a lot to me, because that's me. And yet I've been programmed to, get houses, get listings, get buyers.
And you want that too. But think about it. If people are your passion, it will come. And you have created a place where anybody feels welcome to come and do business with you, because they know beyond the shadow of a doubt that you care about them, no matter how big or how small. I sold a $65,000 house last year. And get this, no. This was, I was livid. There was an agent from out of town who demanded a 25% referral fee off of a $65,000 sale. And so we did it. right? I gave them the referral check, but I also gave my client the same gift that I would give a $300,000 listing.
Absolutely.
You know, I do Cutco. So I love my Cutco stuff. Shout out for Elizabeth if y'all need some Cutco. But she's amazing. But seriously, I mean, it's not always about the sale. It's, you know, people won't always remember what you did, but they'll always remember how you made them feel, right? And my business and my life is based on how I can make other people feel. They feel wanted. They feel accepted. They feel loved. I choose to make them feel that way, even when they choose not to receive it. You know, so that's hard, but it will bring long-term success. And here I am in year 2, and I'm on track to close, you know, almost $2 million over the next 2 months.
Yeah, I've got written down 5 million by August.
That's the goal.
And that's with the COVID-19
right
interfering with everything.
Right. So, I look at my year to year. Since August is when I cap, I always look at August as my year to year. So if I can reach $5 million by August, then I will have reached, you know, I'll be ecstatic. I can't even tell you how ecstatic I'll be.
Awesome. Next question. Joseph.
Yes.
When you approach someone, what do you say to yourself before you speak to them?
Wow, that's a great question.
Is there a conversation you have with yourself on days where you may not feel your best?
Yeah.
Do you mind sharing? This is Lori.
I think that's a great question because all of us have bad days. All of us wake up and have good days sometimes, and we're just full of energy, full of life, full of passion. And then there are days when we wake up where we don't have those things. And for whatever rhyme or reason, we don't. And, you know, for me, there's conversation. I am loved. And, let's see. Can you hear me now?
You're good.
Okay, great. I was just saying, for me, you know, I get up, and one of the first things I have to remember every day is I am loved and I am called, right? And I may not have been equipped for a long time, but God does not always call the equipped; He equips the called. So that's, you know, that's how I live my life. So if I may not be equipped for the day, then I can bet, you know, I can bet anything that God's going to equip me with the love and grace to meet people and to even to say in my head, in my mind, before I approach someone, okay, oh, give me the strength, Lord. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious. I'm so serious.
We had a situation similar to that.
Yes, we did. You want to tell me?
Such an ethical thing, but it ended up I fired her. So anyway, cut the list.
Yeah, because I did not want it. I didn't want it anyway. It's okay.
You can share. Go ahead.
Okay, so crazy. Did she call? No, she called me on my cell phone. That's what it was. Jana was working with these sellers in town, and when she called me, I knew something was a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So we started talking, and she said, "Oh no, we don't have an agent." And I said, "Okay, that's great." And she told me the property she wanted to see. And she sounded like this sweet little old lady, right? Well, you show up, and she had poor pitiful me, and so I show up and go show her the house. We can't even get into the house. The lockbox jams up or something. And as we're sitting there and talking, waiting on the agent to come and let us in, she says, "Oh, my realtor." And I was like, "You're what?" You know, she's like, "Well, the lady who listed my house." And I was like, "What are we doing if you have a lady who has listed your house? You told me you were not working with an agent." And that's what I was told. So come to find out, it was Jana May. There we go. It was Jana May. And I was like, oh, no. So I told the lady, I said, "I'm sorry, I can't work with you because so I called Jana May. And I'm like, "Hey, we need to talk. Do you have an agreement with yeah, Mrs. Smith, whatever her name was, can't remember. Sometimes you just delete their names, right? That sounds terrible, but there are some clients.
Oh yeah, you got deleted.
Yeah, I think you said earlier you don't do your pop buys by their place, right? So
I don't even know where they are.
Yeah, look, there. Sometimes, did you sell the house?
I did.
How
with full price offer, no closing costs, and she's complained.
Still upset. It's
Her
fun.
husband said, after an hour, I was there going through all the numbers saying, this is awesome. And she's like, well, why didn't you ask for more? And I'm like, I didn't have the comps. And he said, okay, you're driving this woman crazy. So do you want to sell the house or not?
Well, at least the husband did.
She signed.
There you go. And you got it sold. And then they called me to go look at a house. They said, oh, we found you online. I thought, okay.
Yeah. After they had me running all over town showing them houses. But yeah. Anyway, so that's a real life. And talking about God calling, I believe any realtor that survives is called by God to do this business, because it's not easy. It's not something you can do on the side. It is something that you have to dedicate yourself 100% to do, or God equips you. So we'll go like in your position, God's equipped you to. Like the question was, why are you in real estate? Share that, because that's so awesome.
Yeah, I would say the reason I'm in real estate is because I was called into real estate. I didn't understand it. I didn't know anything about real estate. I knew there was a lot of opportunity in real estate, but that did not mean that I would be successful. And one of the greatest setbacks for me, and one of the greatest was my age. And, I sat here and thought, people do not want to put their greatest asset, their greatest investment in my hands, someone who had actually never owned a home, which I thought was wild that people would do that. And yet I was able to earn their trust and be the expert for them because of the training that I had received. And so I really feel like God called me into real estate to serve people. It's just another aspect of serving people, just a new way.
Let's talk about my computer's being obnoxiously slow. I'm trying to get Lori Paul on. Real estate long-term goals. I love this story. My
real estate long-term goals. So we discussed this briefly this morning, and the question was, how long are you going to be in real estate? How long, Joseph, are you going to continue to sell homes? And the answer, honestly, is as long as I have to, in order to build enough. Really, the long-term goal is to build a team that sells for me, that sells under my leadership or apart from my leadership, if I can find the right leader to lead that team. And create a passive stream of income for me so that my full-time focus can be on ministry. We even talked about today, one of my greatest goals is to have enough money. And I know it almost sounds greedy, but it's not. My goal is to have enough money for it not to hurt when you have to, when you feel led to give. And now I will say in my case, it has hurt to give. And it does hurt to give sometimes. But what I have learned is that when you don't let it hurt to give, and you give with an open heart, and you give graciously and freely, expecting nothing in return, God blesses you. In Scripture, it says that He is the one that gives us power to gain great wealth. But it's not for us to forget that He gave it to us. It's for us to honor our relationship with God and be able to bless other people with it. So, and one of the misquoted scriptures in all time, I think, is money is the root of all evil. That is not what the Bible says. The Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil. So having money, what is that? The greatest gift.
We're doing this book study, and it all starts with giving away your fortune.
Wow.
I highly recommend this book, y'all. I'm only on chapter 6.
Wow.
It's by I got it backwards. Ogmandino. And it is, I mean, he gives, I haven't read the whole thing, but in chapter 3, I think, he gives a robe to an infant that is the most invaluable robe, and a star follows him. I mean, how awesome. Lori Paul, get up on here. She's watching. Anyway, so she's got a family event, Zoom event, I think.
Oh, I see.
But yeah, I like I said, I have not read the whole thing, but it's a page turner.
Wow.
And one of my faults is I give too much.
I don't think that's a fault. I don't think
you don't.
No, I think that's honorable. I really do. I mean, it was Jesus who said, "If you love me, then you sell everything you have and follow me. You give everything away. You know, never be too attached to not be able to follow what God calls you to do." I mean, such a cool story this year alone. I used to carry, I won't say this now, but I used to carry $200 bills in my wallet.
Oh.
And I would carry those 200. Hold on, I didn't mean that I was broke. I just meant like I would carry those $100 bills in case like I couldn't use my credit card or I got a flat tire road, middle of nowhere. Oh, am I breaking up?
A little bit.
Am I breaking up? Am I getting?
There you go. Oh, we got you.
Okay, so perfect. So I used to carry those $200 bills in my wallet, and I for months, never used them, never did anything with them. It was really just kind of insurance money in case my credit card wouldn't work somewhere. And I'm sitting in my truck one night, and my friends had just been through a traumatic situation. They had a baby way earlier than they planned to, several months. I think it was 2 or 3 months ahead of the due date. And she had an emergency C-section, and he was out of work for several weeks, you know, being in the hospital and taking care of her and being at home. And I just asked the Lord, I said, what am I supposed to do? And he said, give them those $200 in your wallet. And I was,
you haven't had to use.
That I haven't needed, haven't thought about, I didn't even remember they were in my wallet. And God said, give them those $200. And I was over at their house, and I mean, the Lord just kept pressing it. And I pulled $200 out of my wallet, and I said, guys, that I don't know why that God told me to give you exactly $200. And if you need more, I will do whatever I can to get it for you. But here is $200. And the wife just started crying, and she said, how did you know that's how much we were short on my car note? I mean, to the dollar. They were just lacking $200 to pay the car note for that month just to survive to the next. And giving is, it is about the other person, but God's giving is about being a representation of who Jesus was, in my opinion. So I don't think it's a fault.
I believe in that 100%. Yes. I'll go, Lori Paul. I'm going to your third question, Lori.
Number 3.
Oh, will you share the story about that young man who lost his dad that you shared with me?
Oh.
About why you got into real estate and...
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I was trying to put the pieces
That
together.
was so touching.
This
is why you are in real estate, correct?
Another reason for sure. Of course, God called me to real estate, but God showed me in real estate the opportunity to do really, really well financially and also to give. And you know, I had a student. I was a youth pastor for a couple of years, and I had a student who whose dad was diagnosed with colon cancer. And it was a really hard, I mean, I literally had been a youth pastor there for maybe 2 months. And they told me when I came in, yeah, his dad is going to die. He's got colon cancer and has rejected treatment. And so it was a really hard season for that boy and his brother. But the boy was talking to me one night and said, I just don't know how things are going to work. Or, you know, he started talking about college, and he's like, well, the only way I can go is if I get a scholarship and figure out the financing and all that stuff. And my heart just broke because I thought, you know, I went to college on debt, right? I went to college on school loans, but I had access to it. It was easy. Someone helped me. And this kid, I just didn't know. I didn't know if he'd have the money to go to college. And I thought, Lord, help me make enough money where I can just write a check and it doesn't hurt. And I can just give and say, no, I'll put you through college. Oh, you need a car? You got a flat tire? I'll take care of it. Just take it to the shop and tell them that you know what I'm saying? I want to be able to have that kind of wealth. Not for me. You can have wealth and you know, live in a multi-million-dollar house, or you can have wealth and you can serve people and take care of your community. You know, and that's my heart. My heart is not to gain wealth in order that I might have the biggest and the grandest and the best. My heart is to gain wealth in order to do good. We talk about it all the time. Money is only good for the good that it can do. And I think that is huge in any industry, in any position, any job. You know, it's not.
Ooh, broke up a little.
God has blessed me with. I'll repeat that last line. I said, you know, it's about how do I bless others with what God has blessed me with.
Because Christ comes through us. Yeah.
That's right.
I have a friend who I met. She was a past client. And Jesus she doesn't have to say anything. Jesus just shines through her by what she does for others. And that's what I thrive to be, or strive to be.
Right.
Just to let the light of Christ shine through me without saying a thing. Yeah.
Right.
I got a lot of work.
We all do. It's a journey. It's not all done. It's a journey.
Especially with this technology, I got lots of work. Question number 3.
Again?
What? Yeah, I don't think I asked you about it because I interrupted. I wanted you to share that beautiful story about why you're in real estate, or you were called by God, but what you want to do with it. What is the focus of your real estate career? Is it something you intend? Oh, we covered that, to carry long term. Some people see real estate career as a ministry. Thoughts?
Whew.
I see it as a ministry.
Yeah, you certainly can, and it is, because if you think about it, you know, we think only ministers run ministries, right? And Jesus,
we're all ministers.
That's right. We're all called to be ministers, and so in real estate, it's it's really a interesting opportunity because you can catch people at their best, or you can catch people at their worst, their absolute worst, where you detest them. You don't want to be in the same room as them, you know. And we have the opportunity to be the peacekeepers, right? Right. So I mean, I just, man, it's such an opportunity to minister to people because a lot of times real estate is a hard transaction. It's not always, smooth.
Is there, in most cases, is their largest asset?
That's right.
Is their home.
That's right.
And home is the word.
Well, and I would say the greatest problem in households today is the financial strain that people put themselves under. So the minute we come in and we start working with their greatest asset, I mean, their largest investment that they have, most people, is their home, then we get in the middle of that, and we have a great opportunity to minister to people along the way. Because like I told you, they may not always remember what we did, but they will remember how we made them feel. And if we share the gospel, and if we reach people for Christ, and if we love them like Jesus would, then they will remember the way that we made them feel through a transaction that had nothing to do about me making a paycheck or them selling a house. It had everything to do with them going, wait a minute, what does he have that I don't? What am I lacking? He is full of joy and passion and energy, and just, what does he have? That's called the Holy Spirit, So, is that your Bible?
Yeah, it's backwards. There we go. Isn't it pretty?
It is pretty. Look, you would laugh. I've got 3 books stacked here, and 2 of my study Bibles are underneath my laptop holding it up. So great, so great. So yeah, it is a ministry. It can be a ministry. Now, it can be the hardest thing you've ever walked through, but you've got to remember that it's about reaching people and serving people. All what we do in this industry is serving people with excellence and with care. That's what it is.
Fiduciary duty, hold their best interests. I mean, to me, that is a God thing. Right. Final question from Lori Paul. Where are you, Lori Paul?
I know. We got to get rid of Larry so Lori can come in. I don't know if
right.
Larry's
home. I love Larry. We got to talk about Larry before we go. Larry, the listing llama. Have y'all seen a happier llama? Joseph, do you have a story you can share about real estate? Put you in a position with someone who maybe, you would not have reached otherwise. The impact on their lives and yours. And you did share a story about New Orleans.
That's right. I'm so glad that you remember all the stories that we discussed, because I'm going, now wait a minute. So I actually, I'll just share that one if that's okay, the New Orleans story. It's a really, it doesn't happen every day, and it certainly doesn't happen every trip you take to New Orleans. And this guy, we had gone down, I worked for Keller Williams, and Keller Williams does a large, pretty much company-wide retreat each year called Family Reunion. And it's a big event. It's like a full week full of training.
It interferes with Valentine's Day. That was the issue I had. But anyway, I kept going.
So it's normally that week in February, around the 15th, somewhere in there. And so I was invited to go and was able to make it work financially. I mean, it was great. It was awesome. So I went, and while I was there, there are 17 to 20,000 real estate agents in that area.
Real estate agents, yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. So, I've never been to a conference like it. And so while I was there, a lot of nights.
3 days. Go ahead.
So a lot of nights while I was there, people enjoyed going out. And I'm just not the going out type. I'm not the one that goes and hangs at the bars.
I am.
That's okay. That's okay. We're not going to say nothing.
Lots of oysters. I had lots of oysters.
There you go. See, my is shrimp.
Shrimp.
Shrimp, yeah. So anyway, I decided that I was going to go out. And I wasn't going to go out, to party or whatever, but I had heard, my dad had always told me growing up about Pat O'Brien's, that it was a dueling piano bar. And then, you know, you got a person over here is playing piano, and you got a person over here, and they're literally playing, you know, towards each other, against each other, and it's just so cool. And they'll literally pull out napkins, and on the napkin will be the song they're going to play that somebody suggested or requested. And so I went, and I had never, I don't know if any of you have ridden in an Uber before, but I was terrified to get into a car with somebody that I did not know and let them be in control of my destination. I mean, even the taxi cabs, I was like, I don't know about this. I'd never ridden in a taxi cab before family reunion in New Orleans that year. And this guy comes and picks me up. And I get in, he's super, I mean, he's just like, man, what's up? Welcome to my car. You know, I'm so glad that I get to drive you tonight. And he had this thing hanging up on his rearview mirror, right? And I asked him, I said, what is that? And it was something to do with his faith. And he said, oh, I'm Muslim. And then he says, oh, but I'm not a bombing Muslim. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's not even where I was going.
Yeah. But bless him, he probably has to say that all the time.
Well, I feel like we as Christians have to fight it too. They're like, what denomination are you? And you're like, not Baptist. We're not Southern Baptist. You know, I'm just kidding. Because we're kind of radical. Anyway, so you know, he was protecting his religion with that. And he was, you know, hey, I'm not this type, but I'm the practicing Muslim. And so he said, what do you believe in? And I said, well, I'm a Christian. And he goes, oh, he said, you know, we serve the same God. And I was like, really? Really now? You know, so.
Well, don't they? It's the same God between the three, from what I understand. Sorry. But they hold Jesus as a prophet.
Right. In my eyes.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. In my eyes, and in my training, and in what I believe theologically, they do not serve the same God or believe in the same God that we do, because they don't believe in Jesus. And if they think that they're going to get to God, son, am I breaking up?
Yeah.
Let me try again. Are you there? Okay. Let's try again. So I was just saying, I don't want to start any type of theological debate, but I do not believe that they believe in the same God that we do, or they don't serve the same God that we do, because my God, the only way to get to my God is through Jesus. And if you discredit Jesus, then you don't have access to the same God I do. And welcome, Lori Paul. There she is. So anyway, that was a conversation that we had in the car, and I said, I'm sorry, we don't. And he said, well, why not? And I told him, I said, well, it's because you don't believe in Jesus. He goes, oh, no, we believe in Jesus. And I was like, okay, well, what do you believe about Jesus? You know? And he says, oh, he was a really great prophet. And I was like, really? Okay.
God.
Huh?
He's a son of God. Yeah, that's my argument.
He is the son of God, right? So this young man, he was sharing, and he said, I believe he was a really great prophet. And I said, well, that's interesting. I said, because that makes him a liar. And the guy, he's driving, right? He's driving through New Orleans, and he's like, what do you mean? And I said, if you believe that Jesus is just a prophet, then that makes him a liar. He is either a liar, or he's just straight up crazy. He's a lunatic, or he is the Lord of all, because a prophet would have only spoken what the Lord gave him.
Mm-hmm. So right? How did that encounter change you?
How did it change me?
Mm-hmm.
It changed me because I wish that the reason that I had started the conversation was not because of the pendant on the rearview mirror.
Oh, wow.
I wish that conversation would have been started because I genuinely cared about where he was going and what his future would entail, and that his story would be similar to my story, and that he would one day experience eternal life in heaven as well.
Yeah.
And for me, it really woke me up to say, wow,
Yeah.
if you just start the conversation,
Yeah.
if you just say, well, what do you believe? You know, I don't have to shove the gospel down anybody's throat, right?
No.
The days of hellfire and brimstone should be over, because we're missing the point that there is a loving God in heaven who desires to be in relationship with you and will forgive you of your past and wipe the slate clean.
Mm-hmm. And he has a good future plan for us.
He does. And he says, I want you to experience life, and life to the fullest, right? He doesn't just want us to be miserable and, oh, I got to go to work and, oh, I got to do this. No, God wants you to be passionate about your daily walk. He wants to place a passion inside of you. He even told the disciples before he sent them out from the city, right, in Jerusalem, he said, stay here until I empower you. You know, he gave them the Holy Spirit.
The Holy Spirit.
Wait till I empower you.
Yeah.
Wait till you're empowered. So God wants to do a work. We've just got to be willing to do it, and we've got to be willing to receive it and walk in it and act in it.
One thing I always loved about you, Joseph Daley, is that you changed the temperature of the room when you entered it.
Oh.
You changed the atmosphere. And I just think that's awesome. And I know where it's coming from, and I appreciate that about you.
Thank you. I tried to leave a trail everywhere that I go.
The ripple effect, right? We want to have a ripple. We want to have an impact on people, right?
That's right. And one day when I'm dead and gone, I hope that it won't be me that they remember, but I hope that it'll be that they remember that Christ was in me.
Yep.
And because he was in me, the Holy Spirit, and that I had a relationship with a living God,
yeah,
that they caught a piece of that passion. Yeah. You know, I've always said that passion is caught. It's not taught. I can't teach you to be passionate, but if you hang around me long enough, you will be.
Well, I think you're blessed that you have real estate to be a vehicle to reach other people and to have an impact on their life. And we just love that you shared how you make that happen. So I appreciate you joining us for that.
And I do think you speak for the realtors who have the heart for the business. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we're doing it to bring people home. Yep. And it's all guided by Christ. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate you. I'm grateful. I know you. We didn't get Medea. What happened to Medea tonight?
Okay, so do what?
We will get her one Wednesday, right?
Yeah, let's wait for October. That's kind of the month. Let me tell you, and this will be the quote of the whole night. I can only wear a bra about once a year. I'm just telling you, I just can't. I can't.
Every day, y'all.
Now, wait a minute. Some of these people watching are like, Medea, what's that? So Medea is a fictional character that Tyler Perry does, and she is hysterical. And when I was in high school, in college, I found out that I could nail the voice. So I thought, well, if I can nail the voice, I might as well nail the outfit. So for 3 years, I worked on building an outfit for this character so that on Halloween in the month of October, it could be a big, funny buildup. And now it's funny, like, you know, it's how I'm known really in Birmingham and in our industry. And I'd like to move away from that, but the great thing about it
from Medea,
what I mean by that is I want people to remember me and not just the character. And because, you know, you can, I mean, that video went viral. It was nuts. There were like, I don't know, 9.5 million people that saw it.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty cool. I mean, I know it's not a lot as far as our 330.
Can you share it to the Relational Realtor?
Yeah, I'll send you the link for it and you can share it. It's hysterical. But we went to IHOP and it went viral. I was on the news in town. I went to Auburn. Listen to this. This is not a lie. I had a pastor from a church. I don't even know where the church was. Can't remember the guy's name. but he begged me. He was going to pay me thousands of dollars. I don't know, this guy's nuts. But he was going to pay me to come bust up in his church service and distract it in the middle. And I thought, I can't do that in the Lord's house. That's wrong. You don't mess with the Holy Spirit. You know, what the Spirit of the Lord is, you don't mess with it. It's holy ground, right? So anyway, lots of fun. Medea is a good time every year in October.
Oh, yeah. It's good to laugh.
It is. It is good to laugh. Laughter is the best medicine. And you can get it if you laugh hard enough.
And that's something we do often whenever we're, Lori, dang it, she'll pop back up. Whenever I saw you, there was laughter. I mean, people like you, Debbie Horton, several others.
Debbie Horton right now on a deal.
Huh?
I said I'm working with Debbie Horton right now on a deal. She's one of my favorite people in the world.
Oh, I love her.
Love you, Debbie.
Watch Happy Hour with her.
I know I need to go back.
I mean, that she's just an inspiration. Lori Paul, get back up in the house.
And Debbie Horton, she loves the Lord.
Oh my gosh.
She really does. So,
I know.
She's a sweet lady.
Watch that video. She had me in tears. Yeah. Because of her passion for the Lord.
Yeah. She is. Debbie Horton, crazy story. I don't think I ever told you this. I might have. I used to work at Chick-fil-A in the Chick-fil-A drive-thru. And that may be her comment down there that says Chick-fil-A. I can't see which user it is.
Oh.
Who said Chick-fil-A down there?
I bet you that's her because she was here. Go ahead.
So,
Deborah, we're talking about you.
Was Deborah talking about Chick-fil-A?
It just says Facebook user.
How strange. Well, she so I used to work the window at Chick-fil-A in Pelham, and I worked there for many years and loved working there because it taught me my time.
Oh.
That's what it.
Go ahead.
Let's try again. Is that better? Yeah, it says Deborah Horton. She's watching. Gotta be her. I love you, Debbie. But no, I was in the Chick-fil-A drive-thru. This is a cool part of the story. But years before I ever thought about really getting into real estate, Debbie was a regular customer in the Chick-fil-A drive-thru, and she said, she pulled up the window. She is full of spunk, full of sass, full of all of it, but she loves people.
Go ahead.
Say that again.
In her Acura.
That's right, Acura.
She worked hard for that.
She does. She does. She's amazing. And so she said, Deborah Horton wrote Chick-fil-A. Love it. Thank you. So she actually came through my drive-thru one night while I was working the window, and she said, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, "I'm working," and she said, no, you need a raise. And I was like, well, thank you. You should tell my boss. And she said, I will. Where is she? And she said, look, forget about all this. You don't need to be selling chicken. Why are you selling chicken? You need to be selling houses. She's got her hand going, and I love Debbie. She's like, you need to sell houses, and you need to come work with me. Just come work with me. It'll be great. You can make loads of money and come work with me. And I had forgotten, honestly, I had forgotten that story until she and I reconnected, and I remembered. And the second I saw her face, I said, oh my gosh, I know her. She came through the drive-thru and told me that I needed to be a real estate agent. I mean, prophecy years before. I had no idea that I would get into this business or be successful as I had.
Giving her fabulous service for her to want what's best for you.
Yeah, she's amazing. And I wish that I had only done it sooner, Oh, hey, there was a question that I saw earlier about my first year. What was my biggest challenge my first year in real estate? And I would say, like, did I answer that well earlier? I was just going to repeat what I said.
Answer it again, love. Answer it again.
Repeat what I said, that I didn't learn to earn the business or ask for it. I thought that if I could just earn people's trust, they would just do business with me, instead of learning to earn the business and then asking for it. You know, I remember I left a listing appointment one time, and they didn't sign. They said, "Oh, we're going to think about it." And I went back to an agent friend of mine, Sherry Condon. She just means the world to me. But she isn't she wonderful? So Sherry and I were talking, and she said, "Well, did you ask for it?" And I said, "What? What do you mean, did I ask for it?" And she said, "Did you say sign here? Let's go. What are you waiting for? What are we holding up on? This is the right thing to do. This is the right thing to do. Here, sign the papers. Let's go." And I had never thought about that. You know, I just thought, well, when they're ready, they'll tell me they want to sign. And a MAPS coach, a training coach, if you're familiar with MAPS coaching.
Are you in MAPS coaching?
I'm not, but I had a coach. I'm not right now, just because my budget doesn't allow for it just yet, and that's okay. I'm getting there. And so this MAPS coach, though, looked at me one day and she said, "Well, do you ask every client when you leave the house, do you want to buy it?" And I thought, well, no, that's pushy. And she said, "No, it's not. They hired you to be their agent, to sell them a house. Every single house that they look at, you better be asking, are you going to buy it? Are you going to buy it? Do you want to buy this one? Or do you want to buy the next one? Or do you want to buy the last one we saw? What do you want to buy? Do you want to buy this one?" Because if you're not asking for the business, they're not going to sign for it. You know? So learn to ask for the business. And if you are not confident enough in asking for the business, then Jana, you can connect with me on Facebook. It's just Deal with Daley. Or you can just look up Joseph Daley and you'll say that I'm a realtor in Birmingham. Add me, call me, text me, whatever you need to do. I will script practice with you to learn to ask for the business. Okay? It's huge. You've got to do it in order to be successful as a sales person.
I'm learning. Almost 7 years. There we go.
Learning, girl.
And it has a lot to do with giving. Huh?
That's a great thing right there. You said you've been in the business for 7 years and you're still learning. Listen to this, everybody. Learners are leaders, and leaders are learners. And if you are leading this business, if you are leading in this industry, if you are working in this industry, then you are learning more about your trade. You are learning more about how to sell homes. You are learning more about how to serve people and what they expect out of you. And right now, goodness gracious, there's so many things to learn about digital and virtual marketing. We are learning, right? I know it's the worst. It's the worst, but we're learning how to make it. And if you can't make it through a global pandemic, then you probably need to ask yourself, is this for me? And guess what? It's okay if it's not, but if you believe that it is, then you've got to bust your butt to make it work.
Exactly. And my pandemic song is "I Will Survive."
That's right.
I will make it, and I will do whatever's necessary.
That's right.
To come out on top.
That's right. And you will. And let me tell you this too. One of the greatest things that changed my life financially was learning how to prepare for a time like this.
See, I never would have thought of a time like this.
Ever. Now, thankfully, I wrote a lot of contracts in March. So I closed 4 homes last month, and that, we go whoop, 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 whoop. So I closed 4 homes last month, got a referral check last month. I'm okay because the business has still been rolling. Now, May is a different story. Now, if you are a new agent, or if you're an agent who spends their paycheck, then I want to tell you right now that it's foolish. You need to take your paycheck and put it back and pay yourself what you can and start. Don't spend what you make, but pay yourself a salary every month in order to provide, so that when a pandemic like this happens, you don't go out of business. if we hit a major depression, you don't go out of business. You're the only agent left standing. Okay? I mean, that's huge. It's huge.
That's my goal.
Yeah. So.
I mean, we're called to do this business. I will.
That's right.
I will survive.
We will survive.
We all will survive.
And then at the end, we're going to dance. Look, survival dance.
Yeah.
That's right.
Revival dance.
It's kind of awkward that
I'll come to your revival. This Episcopalian will be at your revival.
Come on.
I'm coming.
I'm
coming.
This is just
all right, before we sign off, show us some gams.
Do what? Oh, Lord. No, we can't share all the secrets in one day. So
this is digital. Show us, be authentic, be yourself. Let's be. Stand up on that chair. Show us some gams.
I knew that she was going to do this. I should have never showed. Okay, so let me tell you. Girl, you better put that up. My degree was in broadcast journalism, like I said at the beginning. And so when we would do shoots, I'm not going to sweat all day in a suit that I was only going to wear for an hour. So what we would do is we would get dressed from the waist up. And any of you, let me tell you something right now. If you got to get on a Zoom call, throw on a dress shirt and a jacket and look good on your Zoom call. Come on. Don't show up and, you know what I'm saying? Like, anyway, so we learned a trick. You just throw on a pair of shorts. You just throw on a pair of shorts, everybody. And you still look fantastic. Because guess what? None of y'all knew I was wearing shorts.
Not until I told you.
Not until she blew my secret. Goodness gracious. Don't tell her your secret, y'all. Don't tell her. She'll tell everybody. No,
I will. I'll tell the whole world. I'll get on Facebook Live and tell everyone.
Good grief. Hey, Facebook Live is another way to survive during this pandemic. Facebook Live. Do it. Get used to it. Get comfortable on camera. Make people laugh. You should have seen.
Oh, honey.
People. Am I breaking up?
There you come back. Come back.
I'm back, right? Okay, great.
Yes.
I was just going to say, Facebook Live. Are we good now? Okay.
Yes.
Facebook Live is it's an amazing way to earn business and just make people laugh. People want to laugh. So the other day, I'm sitting in my living room, right? And I just love my little house. I love it. And I'm sitting in my living room and I'm watching TV, and you hear ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da, right? And it's the ice cream man. And this is like day 2 of quarantine. And this ice cream truck comes a-rolling by my house, and I thought, what in Corona? So I went outside. I mean, literally, that was my first thought sitting on the couch. What in coronavirus? What are you doing? And so I went outside, and guys, it's just stupid simple. You just pull out your phone. Whoop. What in corona? And people will eat it alive and think it's hilarious. And they will share you all over the internet, and you will go viral. And it wasn't about selling a house. It was making people laugh. And they go, oh, he's a realtor. Look at how good he looks. I'm going to work with him. Right? That's what they say. I promise you. That's what I tell myself they say. So, do it.
Well,
comfortable.
Well, and your position's really good right now, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Up close. Up. Lori Paul. See, I don't tell secrets. Move your paws. Lori Paul was terrified of video.
No.
And you saw her when she got on. She conquered.
That's right.
She conquered.
That's
and
right.
I do believe.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah. Threw it out the window. She hopped on, asked you questions. I'm so proud of her. And I believe video, because this pandemic's not going away in a matter of months. It's not until we get a vaccine. video is the way we're going to communicate and how we'll network from now on.
Yeah.
So what else are you doing video? And then I'll let you go because this is the longest happy hour we've had.
And the best. Okay.
And the best.
No, so I do, I've done video for a long time. So I do a lot of Facebook videos. I did you have to go back to my page and see if it's still there. We did an Easter Bunny video last year. Do you remember that? Where, oh my gosh, it was the Money Bunny is what we called it. It was the Money Bunny, and we were helping you get all the money on your house. And we were going to help you hop from one place to a new place, right?
Oh, I love it. I got it because that was during the.
Yeah, it was like nothing was. So the Money Bunny was the bomb, and we literally, I laid out in the grass like this, and my my helper with me was like spreading the money, and the money was just falling on the bunny. I mean, it was the funniest thing. So you can have fun with it. I know another guy in town, Tom Douglas. He's with a different company, but I love Tom. He did one last week where it was all about a house that needed a lot of renovation. And so he took the Full House theme song and he's like, everywhere you look, everywhere you go. Like, it needs paint, it needs this, it needs that. You know, and it was funny because, you know, he just used video to intrigue people. So you can
love it.
Video, guess what? Video has a different algorithm on social media sites than just a normal post with a photo. And
I did not know that.
A live video will probably get 10 times more views than just a video you post. So that's why I'm always going live, because people will tune in and watch. And get this, if you start getting people to click on notifications, then every time you go live, it'll pop up on their phone and it will say, Joseph Daley is live. So I have about 10,000 people that follow my post. So every time I say I'm going live, 10,000 people get a notification.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, and that all started with Medea.
All started with Mabel. Move with Mabel, baby.
That's awesome. And also, you know, going live, doing professional virtual tours and all that is very good, but also let people get to know you, who you are. Yeah. And that's what Joseph's done. So
yeah, be the same person on camera as you are off camera.
Exactly. Thank you ever so much. I'm so grateful for you. I blackmailed you. I wouldn't let him know what program I used until he promised he'd come on.
That's right.
And I think I'm so grateful to know you, and I look forward to the rest of our lives and the friendship we've got. So
thank you so much for having me on. It's been a blast. And like I said, hey, if any of you need a script partner or just need some encouragement as maybe you're having a hard time as an agent, maybe we can strategize to find out some new ways to help you grow business, or even set up your finances a little differently. I would be glad to help you in any way that I can. That's just the heart of who I am. My phone number, can I give it out? Is that okay?
Yeah, I was going to say, how do they get in touch with you? And I got one more thing about that.
Yeah, my phone number is 205-475-2469, and you can reach me by email at jpdailey, DALEY, at kw.com, and always dealwithdailey.com.
Dealwithdailey.com. Yeah.
That's right. Deal with Daley.
I can't wait to dealwithdailey.com. I've got a great house in Ballantrae. Bring me a buyer.
I will.
Right on 13th Fairway. We do have in Relational Realtor mentorship. So
wonderful.
I encourage you to sign up.
Sure.
To become a mentor, and, you know, choose one. You can have one, or you can have 100, whatever. It's no cost. And like with me, my reward seeing you succeed, and I'm motivated.
Right.
by people who I mentor. So anyway, thank you so much. I didn't mean to put the Italian Jewish guilt on you. So
No!
I love my Italian Jewish guilt genes. Anyway, you have a great night. All of you have a great night. Thank you for joining us. And you are an inspiration. We didn't even talk about Larry the llama, but
that's okay. Hey, I guess what? We'll have to save him for next time.
That's right. That's right. I love you.
Love you, my friend. Thanks again.
Take care, my darling. You're the best.
Yes.
As Anthony would say, you're the bomb.com.
That's right. That's right. Bomb.com. Boom.